Yeah, Harmontown is kind of unofficially sponsored by the Drawing Room. Guests of Harmontown, remember to tie your shoes before you go to the men's room.
Yeah,
because if you tie them after, Hep C.
Yeah. The Drawing Room, where if you drop your keys, you get to walk home because some sort of vermin will steal your car. You don't want to touch anything you drop at the Drawing Room.
Yeah, there was a carpet there once, and they never tore it up, but it's not there anymore.
Yeah, they just let it go. They just let people walk it all the way off.
Yeah.
There were a couple little tufts like near the booths, and some guy went with like a putty knife and got like the last little vestiges of the carpet there. There's a guy that goes there, and his name is Henry, and he's a lovely, lovely old dude, and he's been there. He's gone there forever. And I remember going there maybe 10, 12 years ago, and not cynically, I just thought, this guy's probably he's not going to be around much longer. He's old and he drinks a lot, and we might be getting the last of Henry. He's still with us and he looks exactly the same. He's going to outlive us all. I didn't know this, but he has a glass eye, and I wasn't there, but one time he was there in the daytime and he coughed or sneezed, and the couple people at the bar heard ting 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 ting, and his eyeball had shot across the bar and then landed on the bar mat, like down on the ground there, which is even grosser possibly than the carpet that was still there at the time. And the bartender, and he was like looking around for it, and he doesn't know where it's at. And the bartender picked it up, washed it off, and gave it to him, and he went and put it right back in. That's a good bar.
Yeah.
That's my kind of shit. It's a bar so vile that hipsters will never take it over.
Yeah, the gauntlet's been thrown down.
And one of the few bars that boast a women's room that smells worse than a men's room.
I've only been in the women's room once, but that men's room, holy tamale.
Yeah, there's bugs in there that don't exist outside of the men's room of the drawing room.
Yeah, Dino has a weird theory about that. Like, there's bugs that fly in your face when you're standing at the urinal, and he thinks that the reason they're there is because of the pee that is on the wall, because you can never hit the urinal because there's bugs in your face. So he thinks it's a whole biosphere that it's like an amazing Darwinian evolution that like these bugs have evolved. Like, no, they don't know, but the same way, like, there's birds that drop walnuts into traffic so that the cars crack the walnuts and then they eat the nut meat. These bugs, they only live for one day. So like last 30 years of the drawing room, people peeing has been like millennia to them.
Yeah.
So you bet it's a possibility.
There used to be doors in there, but the bar opens at 6 a.m. and it boasts cocktail lounge open at 6 a.m. And so I think a lot of druggies were going in there, and so the doors are now off there, so you can't go in there and do drugs. But now it's turned into this weird kind of like men's shower. Like, the whole thing has been designed so when people puke or pee all over the place, because they will clean the bathroom there, it'll be spick and span, and 10 seconds later there is a 3-foot like a 3-point line of piss around the thing. Like you can't get close to it. And then it's just receding because now no one wants to step in the pee. Right. So now people are progressively peeing farther away.
Everyone thinks they can hang from the rafters and be the cleanest monkey to get out of the drawing room bathroom.
So then it's just like it's just this exponential piss cycle that goes on there. So they designed the whole thing now where they have a thing they hook up, which is like a car wash, where they just go in and steam the whole thing down.
Yeah.
And they just rinse the whole thing down, and then it's shiny and new, and then 10 seconds later.
Well, because the more they do that, it's the broken window theory in New York. The pre-Giuliani whole thing was the idea of if the neighborhoods have a tipping point. If you're walking down a street, it's covered with garbage and all the windows are broken. Like, you'll break a window, you don't give a shit. If you walk down a pristine street, there's that sort of. I don't think it's that gallant of us. I think we're just afraid to be the first person. I think it's just sort of like cowardice, and and you can see it in European bathrooms. I swear, I went to Europe for the first time a couple of years ago, and I was just marveling. I was like I went to dive bars. The bathrooms were still a little cleaner than the dive bars in America. And my girlfriend at the time said that her theory was that Americans are more germophobic too. So we tend to try to take shits and pees without touching anything, and we end up making everything worse. And the cycle continues. Whereas Europeans are like, hey, it's my butt, it's your butt. I don't know what we're both from Transylvania.
There were
to the same piece of plastic.
There were paper towels covered in shit in the women's bathroom once at the drawing room.
There were what covered in shit?
Paper towels.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean...
Like coming out of the dispenser? Like they came pre-shit on? Nothing would surprise me there.
There's a trash can next to the toilet, and there were paper towels covered in shit. Sorry, guys.